Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. For today's look, I created this halo eye makeup look using this new Huda Beauty remastered rose gold eyeshadow palette. I do have to mention I don't own the original rose gold eyeshadow palette, only this new version. So I can only let you guys know how I feel about this one. So far I'm really liking it. This is the second look I created with this palette. The other look I created, I didn't film it unfortunately, but I do have a picture on my Instagram. I feel like the matte eyeshadows are really easy to blend and the shimmery ones are also really easy to apply, and they blend in really nicely into the mattes. I feel like the transition from like the shimmery shade into the mattes looks just almost photoshopped. So far I'm really liking this palette, and let me know if you want me to do more videos using this palette. But yeah, let's dive into this video. I hope you guys will enjoy. So I'm starting with my eyes and I'm using this MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is the eyeshadow primer, and this one particular is my absolute favorite. I feel like it makes my eyeshadows last all day. So I'm applying this all over my eyelid. And once I'm done with applying this, I'm going to set this with some powder because, believe it or not, eyeshadow primer can crease as well. So I'm going to set my whole eyelid using this Flawless Finish powder from Charlotte Tilbury. Then I'm going in with this palette which I was talking about in my intro, the remastered rose gold palette from Huda Beauty. And I'm starting with this super light pink shade, and I'm going to blend this all over my crease using a Sigma E40 brush. This brush comes in my collaboration with Sigma Beauty brush kit. I have a link down in the description bar where you can get my brush kit. So I'm blending this all over my crease. I'm going back and forward and just until I find that there's like enough eyeshadow in my crease. And as you can see, this gives a lot of pigmentation. Then I'm going in with this shade called Sandalwood, and I'm going to blend this in my crease as well. I feel like if you compare it with darkness, I feel like those shades are kind of similar as to the shade that I used at the beginning. But I only used this shade to kind of warm it up, to make it a little bit more brown, because I felt like the other shade was too pink and peachy and I wanted to go more for like a brown halo eye look. Then the next shade I'm going in with is called Cocoa, and I'm taking a very tiny pencil brush from Dose of Colors. No, not Dose of Colors, from Morphe brushes. And I'm going to start with applying this a little bit in the inner corner area of my eyelid to darken it up, because when you create a halo eye look, you kind of want your edges to be more dark and the inner part or the middle part of your eyelid to be more light. So that's why I'm now starting to darken up the edges, and I feel like starting with a tiny brush is more easy. And then now I used a different brush, which is the Morphe M506, which is a very tiny blending brush, and now I'm going to blend it more around the edges and like around the edges of my whole crease. Now I'm taking the shade Henna, which is slightly lighter than the shade I used before this, and I'm going to blend this around the edges as well to make it less harsh, because that shade that I just applied is quite dark. So every time I go in with a dark brown shade or whatever color dark shade, I always go back in with a lighter shade around the edges to make sure that the transition looks better. Then I'm going to use the shade Cocoa and this shade Black Truffle. I mixed kind of like both shades on my brush, and I'm going to apply this in my inner corner and outer V as well, just to make it even more dark. And to make it even more darker, of course you want to go in with black, but sometimes black is really hard to blend, so that's why I mixed it together with that brown shade. Now I'm going to use this gorgeous light shade, and I'm going to press this in the middle part of my eyelid. This shade is really pigmented. I do made my brush wet to make it even more intense, because when it comes to a halo eye look, I want the middle part of my eyelid to be as bright and light as possible, and I think this is one of the lightest shades that is in this palette. So once I started applying it, I just noticed that it's very like bright. It really catches the eye, so that's perfect. I wasn't really sure if it would come out the way I wanted it to be, but it really did, so that was really nice. And later, like when you come to the end result, I feel like this eyeshadow blends so nicely into the matte eyeshadows, so I will definitely use this palette again for if I ever want to create a halo eye look. So now I'm going to use this reddish shade, and I'm going to apply a little bit of that around the edges. You can also go in with the shade Sandalwood, which I used in my crease, but I just wanted to give it a different twist. add a little bit more red because it makes my eyes pop. So that's why I went in with this shade, but this will make it even more prettier. You can leave it like how it looked, but I feel like blending a shade around the edges will make it really blend into the matte shades. So I would definitely recommend to do this step. Then I'm going in with this Swing liquid liner from TheBalm Cosmetics. I'm not filming the whole process of my eyeliner because I just created a very simple line above my lash line, and I think I don't really have to explain that. Then I'm going to use this vitamin enriched face base. I'm now going to apply my foundation, and then later I will finish the eyes for like underneath the lower lash line. So this is my favorite face cream. I'm applying this all over my face. So after applying face cream, I always go in with primer, and I'm using this Toofaced Hangover primer. I'm really liking this primer. I feel like it leaves like a sticky texture, which I feel like my foundation grabs on and makes it like more longwear. The foundation that I'm wearing today is a mixture of the Nars Radiant longwear and the Dior Forever. So I think I used around 4 or 5 pumps of the Nars and 2 of the Dior Forever. I did use like a little bit too much, so I had to wipe some excess product away on my hand, which is kind of a waste. But that's like, I use more of the Nars foundation and just 2 pumps of the Dior Forever. But I feel like if you use the Dior Forever with your foundation, somehow it makes your foundation look so much more flawless. So I don't know what it is with the Dior Forever, but it's really nice. So now I'm going to apply some concealer. I'm using the Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium. Applying this on my chin, underneath my eyes, and a little bit on my forehead. And then I'm going to blend this in using a damped beauty blender. Now to set my concealer in place, I'm using this palette from Anastasia Belisle, and I'm using the shade Vanilla and Banana. I'm mixing these 2 shades together, and I'm going to set this on all the places where I applied concealer. Now to contour my face, I'm going to use this Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Deep, and I'm going to apply a few dots on my forehead. I feel like using a cream product first on my forehead makes it blend more into my hairline instead of only using powder. I just feel like it makes my the bronze on my forehead look more natural, if that makes sense. Now I'm using this Makeupforever Super Matte Loose Powder and applying this on my T-zone and underneath my eyes and basically everywhere I used concealer. Because my skin is really oily, I feel like this is kind of necessary. Now I'm going back to the eyes. I'm using that dark brown shade which I used in my outer V and inner corner on the eyelid as well. I'm using this with my flat diviner Sigma brush, which comes in my Sigma favorites brush kit as well. And I press this underneath the lower lash line. Now I'm blending the lower lash line using that light pink shade I used at the beginning in my crease. I'm just going back and forth with my brush. And then the shade I used on the eyelid, that light golden shade, I applied a little bit underneath the lower lash line in the middle part as well. Now I'm taking this nude eye pencil from Suiva and I'm going to use that for in the waterline. This will make my eyes look more bright, more bigger and just more fresh. It will hide like the redness in my waterline. For my mascara, I'm using this Tarte Cosmetics Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. My current favorite. I think I've used this for like in all my latest video. I just really like how long it makes my bottom lashes. And then for my fake eyelashes, I used my Anytude Impulsively lashes, which are one of the most natural styles, but somehow today they looked quite dramatic on me, I don't know. So now I'm going to line my lips and I'm using this lip liner from MAC Cosmetics in the shade Strip Down. One of my favorite lip liners. I feel like it suits with almost every nude color. And the lipstick I'm using is from Melt Cosmetics in the shade Sext. This is quite a light shade, so I don't use too much. And I kind of try to blend it into the lip liner. Now to bronze my face, well, not really bronze but contour my cheekbones, I use this Jouer Suntan Bronzer. And to bronze it even more, to kind of warm up my complexion, I'm using this Mineralize Skin Finish Powder from MAC Cosmetics. Blending this on my cheeks and of course on my forehead to warm it up even more. Now to make my face glowy, I'm using this Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration Champagne Pop Highlighter. such a gorgeous shade, especially for the summer. I feel like in the winter time sometimes it's a little bit too warm for me, but now that I got more of a tan, I think it looks pretty good on my skin color. Now I'm taking this Peony blush from Bobbi Brown. Not sure if this is still available, but this is like a very nice fresh pink blush. So I'm applying this on the apples of my cheeks to make a little bit more fresher in my face. And then this is the end of the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really happy with the end result. I always really enjoy making halo eye looks. So if you want me to do another halo eye look using a different palette or different eyeshadow colors, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy. And of course, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys!